When it comes to Kyler Murray and what you saw in college at Oklahoma, I think it almost like he went from baseball player to about 8 weeks in. Well, maybe it could work. What did you make of Kyler Murray last year at Oklahoma heading into this season?
Well, it was wild because you mentioned, my Saturday show with Arnie Spanier. Arnie and I filled in right around Christmas a ton. And that was when it really picked up. I think your Saturday partner, Bucky Brooks, was the first one that was like, if he takes this football thing seriously, he could go pretty high in the draft. But I remember even in the lead up to the playoff against Alabama, it was still this notion of, is he going to try to do both? And so I remember being on air and saying, there is no, it's just not going to, I will believe that Kyler Murray plays in the NFL when I see him in an NFL uniform. Now, it obviously got towards draft time. He put baseball completely to the back burner. But I remember as late as December, leading into the college football playoff after he won the Heisman Trophy, not believing that this was a guy that was still going to pursue football. And at the time, I thought baseball too.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive to watch just how he performed, how he played. I think a lot of people just anticipated, it's just the coach there. It's Lincoln Riley. He had success with Baker Mayfield. Then he just got better and better and better, and people were really impressed. Then when he measured out what he measured at the Combine, I think then it really started to grab people, and he had people out there saying, well, he was standing on something, or he was on his tippy toes, or he was, which I hope that's what happened. I'm all for that sort of conspiracy. But here's what I'll say about Kyler Murray. Last night, look, he didn't do anything overly impressive, but he wasn't Dwayne Haskins either, who really, really struggled. But Kyler Murray moved the ball down the field. He made the right decisions. He was 6 of 7. He looked like he really knew the offense well. And that's because he does. And everybody has said that in the preseason. Larry Fitzgerald has said it, how impressed they are that Kyler Murray has picked up on this offense and how good he's been. I'll say this. I don't think that there has been an NFL team more committed, fully committed to a rookie quarterback in the history of the league. I'm not talking about just financially. I'm talking about everything included. We remember the Matt Stafford, Sam Bradford, Jamarcus Russell contracts. They were getting like $50 million when they would just step into the league. That's a financial commitment. I'm talking about, no. We're getting rid of everything, including a quarterback we just drafted in the top 10 a year ago. Everything is yours. Your head coach, your offense, exactly the way you want it. I don't think I've ever seen that in the history of the NFL.
Well, even think about back to last year. Baker Mayfield, first overall draft pick, and I'll never forget this. This is when I knew I was out on Hugh Jackson. I was kind of like a Hugh Jackson sort of defender. And then when Tyrod Taylor gets hurt on that Thursday night, they're on a 19-game non-winning streak. They had a tie mixed in there. And Baker Mayfield goes in, completely lights up the Jets defense, lights up the building, right. And Hugh Jackson goes to the podium and says, I got to go watch the film before I... And I'm like, what are you talking about, Hugh Jackson? And so to even just equate that, same school, last year, number 1 overall draft pick with what we're seeing from Kyler Murray, the commitment from the organization with Kliff Kingsbury, etc. I had never thought of it in that context. I'll tell you this. Individually, I don't know if Kyler Murray is going to work. Individually, I don't know if Kliff Kingsbury is going to work, but I think the two of them together, like you said, they are tied together at 100%. The hip, and it's going to be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny, going back to the Antonio Brown, one of the stories out of the Antonio Brown story that ties into what you just said about Hugh Jackson and Baker Mayfield was when Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady had to use these new helmets too that Antonio Brown doesn't want to use. And one of the ways that they got through to Antonio Brown, according to Mike Silver, is they actually sent Antonio Brown a picture or a video via text message of Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady practicing in the new helmet. So he knew, look, they also changed too. If I were somebody hearing Hugh Jackson with the Browns front office saying, yeah, I got to go back and watch the tape, I say, okay, I got some tape for you. And it's the tape of all the Bud Light coolers automatically opening when the Browns finally won an effing game. Hey, Hugh, you've won 3 of these in like 900 years. Okay, the guy just won you a game. You should celebrate a little more. I'm looking at Kyler Murray and I'm looking at Kliff Kingsbury, and the reality is this. If Kliff Kingsbury isn't the coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray's not going number 1 overall. Not even close. There's no possible way Kyler Murray goes number 1 overall.
Well, I think he could have, but it wouldn't have been imagine if John Fox is the coach. They could have taken him, but it would have been setting up to be a recipe for disaster. And that was why, like I said, look, like you said, I've been following college football a long time. Kliff Kingsbury, I don't remember all the numbers off the top of my head, not a good college football coach.
No.
And so there's not many guys that are below 500 in college football. By the way, ran off Baker Mayfield when Baker Mayfield was there. Didn't make bowl games with Patrick Mahomes, but neither here nor there. But the point is, guys like that don't normally get NFL head coaching jobs. But I guess really frankly the organization credit, because that was my thought was I didn't think Kyler Murray, I still wonder if he's going to work, but man, give him all the tools in the toolbox to succeed. And like you said, he's fun to watch. He's electric. He can do things that literally no other quarterback in the league can do, and I'm just kind of curious to see.
Yeah, look, there's definitely buzz back with the Arizona Cardinals. It's a fun team to watch. You're actually excited to watch Cardinals football. Like, they had some good teams under Bruce Arians. Like, that was a team that was in the NFC title game before getting blown out by the Carolina Panthers. There were some really good teams. We remember the Kurt Warner era in Arizona, to where they went to a Super Bowl at that time. So they've had good teams there, but now you introduce Kyler Murray, and they're trying to do something that's never been done before, to where you literally are handing everything to two guys and saying, we go as far as you go. Because here's another reality. If Kliff Kingsbury doesn't work or Kyler Murray doesn't work, everybody's gone.
Sure.
It's like in sports betting, they call it a parlay, where you got to bet on a bunch of different things at the same time, and it's a big payout, but you need every single one to hit in order to have that big payout. If you lose one of those, it's all gone. Everything's gone. It's like one light bulb going out on a Christmas line. One light goes out, the entire strand goes out. If one of these guys doesn't work or gets hurt or somebody is subpar or Kliff Kingsbury has an offense like a Chip Kelly to where it drains your defense and you're still giving up way too many points. I mean, Texas Tech's defense, was it known to be like this all-time defense in college football? They got gutted every game.
All-time historically bad defense, yeah.
They got gutted every game. If one of these doesn't work, everybody's done. Steve Keim, the GM, is gone. Everybody's gone in Arizona. That's why I'm so interested to watch how this plays out, because I've never seen this approach in the NFL ever before.
Well, and what makes it so interesting, and what made the reason that I wasn't sold that Kyler Murray, if he went into the NFL, would be, let alone the first overall pick, a first-rounder at all, is because not only do you have to build everything around him, you can't even replicate him with a backup, right? Like, if he goes down with injury, everything goes to you-know-what. You got to start completely over. You're completely changing everything. And that was why I was so dubious that he would fully commit to football because of his size, et cetera, things like that. But also that an organization would fully commit to him. Again, I had never thought about it in the context that you're saying, but I think this is the only way it could work for Kyler Murray, because he's one of these guys. There is no what's the right word? Approximation of Kyler Murray, where you can say, well, we'll bring in this guy as a backup, and if things go bad, we can kind of. No,
it's all in. They're all in.
Yeah,
it literally all in. And I don't think any organization has been as all in on a quarterback like the Arizona Cardinals are right now. And this goes above financial. This goes about the entire franchise is sitting in both their hands, and they just have to hold on to it.
By the way, how much has football changed? Remember, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and it'd be like, well, he's never taken a snap under center, but we'll get him right by week one.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, yeah, whatever Kyler wants. Yeah, just call the plays. Here, make the playbook. Here's an Excel spreadsheet. Just do whatever you want, Kyler. Where, like, literally 5 years ago, it was like, well, I don't care if he's never taken a snap under center. Put his butt under center. It's amazing how quickly all this stuff has changed.
It's awesome.